Hola chicos, buenos días, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estáis? Nice to see you here again, and let's continue with our grammar studies. Today we have a very important and useful topic to study. So, if you already speak English, I hope that you do, so this grammar won't be very difficult for you because you already got used to it. Today we're going to speak about the verb to be. In Spanish, as in English, we also have this verb, and it helps us in all the situations when we don't have any other action, any other verb, like for example, dance, sit, learn, speak. So, when we don't have any other activities, but anyway, we need to have a verb in the sentence. In the English language, as in other Roman languages, we always need to have a verb if we want to make a grammatically correct sentence. The pen is blue. The blouse is purple. They are good friends. So I know that in some languages we don't need to use this verb, but in English and in Spanish we will need to use this verb to be. In Spanish, this verb, actually we have several verbs in Spanish, but today we're going to learn the first of them. It's el verbo ser. So, and before we look at the forms, let's have a look at the pronouns because they also can be very useful for us. So, yo, I, tú, él, he, ella, she, usted. And here comes the first interesting pronoun, usted. In English, we have the pronoun you, which refers to both tú y usted. In Spanish, we have two of them. So what's the difference? When we talk to our friend, when we talk to somebody informally, we use tú. When we talk to somebody in a formal situation, when we refer to a person, I don't know, for example, to an older person and we want to show our respect, or when we talk to, for example, in our company, I don't know, we want to show the respect towards the president of our company. So we also can use the form usted, or when we just, in some formal letters, correspondence, we want to refer very officially, formally to the person we are writing to, so we also use the form usted. Actually, in Spain, we are very informal, so almost always we use tú, even in formal situations, probably just in some very formal letters, we use usted. But I know that in Latin America, if you are going to continue later with some Latin accents, you will see that the form usted, which is more formal, is used almost everywhere, and it's much more popular, typical to use than tú, even if you talk to some family members. But anyway, I suppose that my colleague Maria Angel, who is going also to help us with the grammar explanations and with this course, she's going to talk about it more and give you more examples, so you will understand it better. But anyway, let's continue. And the next line is nosotros, nosotras, which means we, nosotros, masculine, nosotras, feminine. So you see, even in we have difference in gender. But what shall we do when we have a mixed group? So for example, when we have boys and girls together. Let's guess? Definitely, we are going to use the masculine form. Even if it is, I don't know, 100 girls and one boy, we're going to say nosotros. So, vosotros, vosotras. Another difficult pronoun to explain because in English, I suppose we don't have the equivalent. So, it's again you. But what's the difference between tú, usted y vosotros? Vosotros is used when we talk to a group of people who you know very well, and one by one, to each of them individually, you would call tú, 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 tú. So together they are vosotros. For example, if I'm going out with my friends, I will refer to them as vosotros. Yes? because I know very well all of them. Or for example, my family members. Again, I'm going to say vosotros. Yes, because it's an informal situation. Each of them I'm going to refer to you, tú, separately. So altogether they are vosotros. In the Latin accents, mostly they used another form. It is ustedes, and we're going to speak about it a little bit later. Yeah? So, let's go down. Ellas, ellos, these are they, masculine. Ellas, feminine. And here goes the form that I have already mentioned, ustedes. Ustedes, it's again you, a group of people, but it's a formal you. For example, when I'm talking to, I don't know, for example, I've seen some señoras, some old ladies in the street, and I need to, I don't know, to ask them something or to help them to find their way. So I will refer to them ustedes, yes? Or for example, when I'm talking to the directors of my company and I want to show their respect towards them, and I will use ustedes. Or for example, when I'm writing a formal letter to some, I don't know, to some company, I'm looking for a job and I'm sending my curriculum there. So I'm going to refer to them ustedes. And as I have already mentioned, in the Latin dialects, ustedes is more frequently used in all the situations, both formal, informal, when you refer to a group of people and you want to say you to all of them. Yeah? So this is the difference that we have between our accents, and I would like to mention it to you because some of them would like to, I don't know, to study probably the Spanish which is used in Spain. Some of them are mostly interested in the Latin accent, so I would like to comment the differences for you to know from the beginning the differences in usage. So, and now let's have a look at the personal verb forms. So you see that for each pronoun we have its own verb form. So it's both at the same time difficult and easy. Easy because when I see the verb, I know exactly who we are talking about. Difficult because we need to learn all these forms. In English we have just am, is, are. So in Spanish we have double, right? So yo soy, tú eres, él, ella, usted are used with es. Yeah? So él es, ella es, usted es. Nosotros somos, vosotros sois y ellos son. Please pay attention and try to remember these forms because they are irregular forms. This verb is quite difficult. You see that the forms are quite different from each other, and it will help us a lot if you know the forms by heart. By the way, also, I wanted to mention the following thing, that quite often, and probably you have already seen it, noticed it, that sometimes instead of saying, for example, soy Tatiana, instead of saying yo soy Tatiana, yo soy profesora, I would say soy Tatiana, soy profesora. Or for example, instead of saying tú eres estudiante, I will say eres estudiante. So you see, sometimes I omit the pronoun yo, tú, and it's quite natural for the Spanish language. Why we do it? First of all, it helps us to save the time, yes? And we speak quite fast, and it helps us to save our time on mentioning the pronouns. Second, I have already mentioned to you that each pronoun has its own verb form. So the verb is already enough for us to understand. I'm talking about I or you, right? Just by the form of the verb, soy, eres, I already understand who we are talking about. And if there is no confusion, if we don't jump from one person to another, if we are not speaking about different people, so it's quite easy to follow who we are talking about. Yes, so sometimes there is no need to indicate the pronoun. So that's why, for example, in the exercises with the introduction, how to introduce ourselves, we say, for example, soy and we put the name, or me llamo and we put the name. There is no need to say yo me llamo, yo soy, yes, because the verb form already shows us who we are talking about and it's quite clear. So in our exercises, when we're going to practice the verb ser, you still will see pronouns because they will help you to indicate what verb form we need to put, how to open the brackets. Yes, but in colloquial speech, please pay attention in all the videos that we're going to watch, in the audios that we're going to listen. You will see that sometimes we omit and we don't use the pronouns. So let me check if I told you everything that I wanted. The pronouns, the omission of the pronouns, the exercises and verbs. Yeah, it seems like everything is done. So please copy the table, the chart with the verb ser in your copybook to have everything in one place and to be able to find it when we need it, just in case if you forget at the beginning. And let's do a lot of exercises to practice. By the way, el verbo ser, I told you that later we are going to have another one. So, just to remember, just as first information, and I'm going to repeat it later. El verbo ser is used when we speak about something permanent, when we describe something. For example, when I say my name, which is permanent, right? Or when I say about my profession, when I describe my appearance. So, mostly we use el verbo ser when it's something permanent, when it's something that is not very easily changed. Okay? We're going to discuss it later, but it's just the information for thought. Okay? While doing exercises, please translate all the sentences. It will help you, and you need to absorb as many new words as possible. And also pay attention that in the sentences that you're going to translate and work with, in almost all the situations, we are going to speak about something permanent, something unchangeable. Pay attention at it, okay? So, see you in the next video.